start recording. All right, so welcome everybody, and thank you for joining me for this last minute Widget Wednesday. The reason I wanted to do this week is because I have been experimenting with an app developer over the holidays, and I'm kind of really excited about it. One, because it was pretty easy to utilize, and so let me start with a little bit of history. As you know, I've been in tech for over 40 years. So I've seen a transition from, no internet to websites to all iterations of kinds of websites. And back in the day, as Marilyn knows, because she comes back from that kind of background, is it took programmers weeks to develop a program, let alone a website. And then they were tending to break because, there's code and one programmer leaves and another program comes in. So technology has evolved obviously quite a bit. And I had been looking into app development maybe 5 years ago because we did a little poll at the PWN meeting yesterday, and everybody is carrying these phones around, right? You are. You have it with you all the time. You're looking at it a lot. So as a business owner or a coach or whatever, being on somebody's phone is valuable real estate, right? That's like being on the front door of somebody because they have you at their fingertips, so you have access to them. Combining that with text messaging, because we all get emails, but texting is much more effective because it's one of few texting we get. And I'm getting a lot more spam now, but it's not quite there yet. So let me let my dog out. Of course, she barks when the Zoom call is on. I'll be right back. Talk among yourselves.
Maya wants to be the moderator.
That always happens. Yeah.
Reminds me of that commercial.
Joke.
Tell us a new joke. Well, I was thinking back to a commercial years ago where do you remember these cows? I think it was a milk commercial. These cows in the barn, and the crow or the rooster is crowing, and they say hit the snooze, and the crow goes flying out the door. It's like I can't do that with my dog. My dog always wants to bark when I want to. So anyway, back to the little history. So I've been looking into app development for quite a few years because for some of my clients who have developed websites for, an app would be valuable. And I'll give you a recent example. I do the website for the Cordova Community Council, and they stage approximately 30 to 40 events every year, from the 4th of July to a movie night in the park, so there's a lot going on. And as you know, in 2020, there were a lot of cancellations. And even in 2021, there were some postponements, cancellations, even the weather affected them in a couple of events. And if we send an email out to everybody, not everybody's going to get the email, at least in a timely fashion. Whereas if we were able to, one, put updates on the app, so if somebody was saying, I wonder if it's still going on, they could just click a little app and know. And two, we can send app notifications out, right? So it's been something I was looking in for them. For me, I'm developing a course, and one of the things I wanted was a place for them to log progress, because one of the things that we are learning in this online course is that you need to make a promise to somebody. If you take my course, I promise that you will whatever that promise is. And if you can't prove the promise, they may say, well, you didn't accomplish it. So what I wanted to do was create an app so they could actually log their progress. And at the end of the course, say, oh, look, I got from, a 3 to a 5 or a 3 to a 7 or whatever that is. So I wanted an app for my business. So over probably in December sometime, I got this email. Now, we've talked about Jotform, I think, in some of the Widget Wednesdays and in the stuff that we've been doing. And Jotform I've been using for 10 years. Love it. It's a great form developer. I have not found any that I like any better. So I've been using it for a long, long time. They came out with an announcement saying, hey, we have now developed a way for you to develop an app. And my first response was, yeah, right. because my finding is generally people or companies that specialize in one thing, like Duda with websites or Jotform with forms, or whatever, constant contact with emails. They're really good at what they started with, but when they start to spread out into other services, it's not quite as good. It can be okay, but it can not be quite as good. So I went in with, okay, now I've got two possible applications. Let me play with it. So over the Christmas break, I was playing with it, and I was quite surprised. I'm going to show you what I've been working on, but the reason I wanted to share you, because again, real estate. And the other thing that stopped me was not only having a programmer develop an app for you, but two, it was expensive. Back when I was talking 5 years ago, they were around $5,000 to develop an app, so much more than I was building websites for. And two, they had to maintain it. They were the programmers, so you had to kind of give them the ownership. And I've always had issues with that because I've heard clients say, I can't get a hold of my website person, and the information is obsolete. So I wanted access to the app. The other thing, the traditional way for apps to be downloaded was for people to upload them into the Play Store or to Apple, whatever it is, and you download it. And then there's updates and stuff. So there was another kind of a hindrance to direct access to your own app. With Jotform, they've kind of gotten around it. In fact, I got an email just this morning. Let me see if I could find it. Jotform. It says, we are thrilled to announce that Jotform Apps is a finalist for Product Hunt's 2021 Golden Kitty Award, which is basically an award for software, right? And they said, we have some tough competition, but please vote, kind of a thing. So it's already in the 2 or 3 months it's been out there, it's already been recognized as a pretty significant addition to the software universe. So that kind of is another validation for this. So I want you guys to think about this. It's not for everybody, but I'm going to go through a couple of possible applications as far as what you might be able to utilize an app for, and will it pay for itself? That's the other thing, is it would take a lot of clients for anybody to pay for a $5,000 app. But if we were to keep the cost down, how many clients would it take for you to start to justify investing in having an app on somebody's phone? So I wrote a notes in my mind map just to kind of go over a couple of things. So the what's in it for you is a close connection to your clients, both real-time information and updates, as well as text messaging. What's in it for them is they have you at their fingertips. Like I was saying for the Cordova Council, somebody can just click the app. They don't have to search for the website. They don't have to Google anything. Just click the app and there's the most recent information. And if they sign up for text messaging notifications, we could say, hey, remember you signed up for this, or hey, we had to cancel because of whatever. And why now? It's because Jotform, and I've seen a lot of things on the internet about no code. I think there are companies that are kind of evolving into giving the ability to create apps by yourself as opposed to going through coders, kind of like Duda gave you the ability to create a website without having to go through coders. So I see this trend, but because I've had this long time relationship with Jotform, I'm more willing to just say, hey, this looks really good. And so I'm investing my time in developing apps there. So before I kind of go into some possible applications, does anybody have any thoughts or questions about what I just kind of covered? No, pretty straightforward, right? New technology, what's in it for you? So let's talk about tips. I actually, Kay, when she was without power, I was talking to her over the phone, and I said, I've been working on this app. Kay, what would it be like if you had an app for Doterra that, people could just punch up keys, like I said, I'm having trouble with sleep, or I'm having trouble with pain, or something like that, anxiety. And this app would help walk you through, because on this app, you can have videos, you can have text, you can have forms. So they can kind of go through it and get some information. And she could have links to her product purchase page. But again, it's just basically a mini thing. It's like, like an app. It's not a website. Websites have all this content and information. It's basically kind of like a little help thing, right? That's what apps are. They help you order a pizza or do something. So we were talking about if you were to have an app that they could just punch in what the problem is, get some ideas and suggestions, maybe watch a quick video, take them to a link where they could purchase the products that were mentioned. Because I have one, and I've got it somewhere, a book from Doterra that has all of this information. And it's like, I don't even know where to start. Whereas if I had this little walking through, we talk about breadcrumbs, that said, I have problem with sleep. Are you having trouble getting to sleep, staying asleep, whatever? Hit that button, and you can see that you can kind of start to walk through something. And she now is developing content that she can reuse on her website and social media. So there's a lot of applications. But again, if it's on somebody's phone, as you add content because you can update it, it becomes a valuable tool for them because it gives them information about how they can utilize your products or services. And it becomes a valuable tool for you because you're staying connected. That's one of the big things in marketing. It's one, converting them into a client, but also staying connected with them, whether it's messaging or whatever. But having that app is like that next really close bridge. You're on their phone and they know that they can just click it and get answers to whatever problem they have. Marilyn, for you, or even Jamie, or even Pat, the same kind of thing would be for what you're teaching. Would it be valuable to have tips and how-tos and little, stories that you would add to the app over time and evolve that? Because the app is unlimited pages, and I'm going to show you how they did that in Jotform. You're not limited to the home page. You can basically click a button and it will take them deeper and deeper into your content. So you can kind of organize it as you want. You can also take them to a product page on your website rather than reinventing the wheel. So you don't have to build the app from scratch, but it's a good place to add additional content. So that's kind of the area on tips. I think what I'm going to do is kind of go through some of the applications, and I'm going to go into the website itself to kind of show you how I've been working on this. Okay, for me, it's tracking. So I've sent some of you the form. I think all of you might have taken that. It was that master class survey. No, it wasn't the master class survey. It was actually the app. Did anybody download the app? I think Jamie, did you get access to it?
I got no.
Okay, so I'm going to show you how, because I know Kay was having problems. So what I ended up doing is, what's nice about how they thought this through. You can have a public app that anybody can access. It's just kind of like what they have on the Play Store. Anybody can download it.
The paddle
You can
app,
also,
Susan?
what?
Is it the paddle app?
Yeah, it's the paddle app.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah. So what I ended up doing is I made it public for testing purposes. But the benefit is, as I'm going to use it, I'm not going to make it public. People are going to be enrolled in my course, then they're going to get private access to it. So you can kind of decide, is it a public app or a private app? Like for Kay with Doterra, she probably will want to make it public. She doesn't want, it to be limited to people that are paying for a course. She wants it public information. For you, you might decide whether it's going to be a public app or based on purchase, right? But that's the advantage. So I'm going to show those of you, but what's nice about this is why I investigated Jotform. I created a form that has people log in information. It saves it into a spreadsheet that I can set up, only they can access. And this is one of the things, I must have been in chat with Jotform for 2 solid days because can I do this? Because I didn't have time to figure it out. I said, can it do this? What happens if this? And they said, I can set it up so only they can access their information. Because if I have 20 people making logs, I want them to see what they logged, but I don't want other people to see what they logged. So there's the ability to make it either They can access only their information or just kind of see general information. So it's kind of up to you and how you set that up. The other
Okay,
thing
I have
I'm
a
working on.
question.
Sure.
I have a question. I
Sure.
did get the paddle app. I was working on my computer at this point, and I
Okay.
do have it on my computer, but how do I
Yeah.
get it on my phone?
Well, so that's the question in terms of you could add it. So what Pat got was when she was on her phone. Were you on your phone when you used the app? Have you ever tried it on your phone, Jamie?
No, but I don't have it on my phone. I
So
don't know
what
how to
is
put it on my phone.
when you open the app on your phone, the first thing it says, "Oh, I'm on somebody's phone," and it asks you, "Do you want to add this to your home screen?" Right, Pat?
Yes,
And if you say
yes.
yes, then it will add the little app icon onto somebody's home screen.
Okay, well,
You
I
can't
have it
see it on your
reversed.
phone.
I have it on my home screen, but not on my phone.
Well, so open the app on your phone.
I don't know how to do that.
Well, it's just a web page. So when you open so if I send you and I'll send you the app invitation after this call. If you
Okay.
open that link on your phone in the email I send you, right? It's going to say, and that's the
Okay, I
benefit.
don't see email on
I
my phone. That's the problem.
Yeah, so I did create a video. I don't know if you watched the video because some people will have, an issue. So again, do a little video to explain how to do it, which I did. And then they don't have to go to the Play Store. That's the benefit. You don't have to go through the Play Store. Now, I'll tell you, I signed up with a company about a year ago. They're an app development company. They had a team of people. I'm paying them $99 a month, for licensing. I see the application, but I saw this bottleneck because it was communicating with me, with the developer, and so I haven't really gone anywhere with it. It was costing about 100 and I'm going to say just under $200 a year just to get your app on Apple Store and Play Store because they will charge you and you have to jump through hoops and all that kind of stuff. The benefit to the Jotform is you don't have to do that. You just have to send an email. And as Pat got, I didn't have to do anything other than saying they have the option or you have the option to download it on your home screen, which if you are on your phone, it will automatically put it on your home screen. You can choose the icon you want. So it can be your logo. It can be a paddle in my case. It can be whatever you want. But that's already taken care of for you. Then when you open your app, it opens the app that I'm going to show you how to develop in Jotform. So just know that, again, I was quite surprised at how well thought out they had put into app development, starting with a form company. I was pretty impressed and really excited by day 2. I mean, by day 2, I was, okay, we're rocking and rolling. Let me see if I can develop my app in their app. Okay, so back to tracking. The other reason I wanted to, in this, think about this like for weight loss or anything, habits. And Marilyn, don't know your program well enough to know, but like if part of your program is to develop a daily habit, like maybe write in a journal or do something, this is a great place where people can log, right? So it puts it into a Jotform spreadsheet. They can access their content. But what I'm doing, remember I said that I wanted to prove that if somebody starts at a 3 at the beginning of the course, that they improve that number over time. So I am associating certain values to each answer that they put. Math, it's not science. I mean, there's no science to what I'm doing, but basically it's helping them know where they are on the scale. And because it's a spreadsheet, I can say, hey, by the end of 3 months, you went from a 3 average to a 5 average or a 7 average. That's the proof. And that's why I wanted an app, because I can have them write a log on a piece of paper, but I don't have access to it. They may have various ways of keeping it, but if they're using an app, it's basically fill in the blanks Here's the results. And that's why this was important for my business in order to prove and keep them on track of getting from point A to point B, from a 3 to a 7 or whatever it is. So it's great for tracking because it uses spreadsheets. I mentioned with the Cordova Council, updates and notifications. If you are doing various classes and workshops, or, just want to keep in touch with people, instant messaging and texting is the way to go, because again, emails get lost, as you know, and people don't pay attention. But if they get a little ping, oh, what's going on? Check the app, kind of a thing. So those are some of the applications that can be used. Let me think. Robin Padilla, I spoke with yesterday, and hopefully, Robin, you were interested in this because I talked to so many people yesterday at PWN. But like Robin with, the safety in her, damsels in defense, she was talking about, hey, if you're, sharing, if your daughter is going off to college, is she safe? Does she have the training? She can create an app with tips, and it could be the no-brainer stuff like don't walk alone, but also carry pepper spray. Here's a little video on how to use it, because I got some. I don't remember all the training we went through, but if I had a little app that had a reminder about how to use a tool, or here's a new tool, or whatever, that becomes something that people will share, right? Because even if you don't know, my cousin's daughter is going to college, and you can share the app with her. And then she has access to all of Robin's information, products and services, and tips. So there's just a huge advantage to having an app. Even if you have the best website in the world, the app is kind of like the next level up as far as technology. So before I go into a demo, does anybody have any specific questions you wanted me to deep dive into? All right, so let's go into the deep dive. Tell me if you see my Jotform. If you don't, I can read here. No?
Yes.
See, yes? Marilyn, do you
Yes.
see it? Okay, so this is Cordova Council. I'm going to show you the notifications. It's a lot simpler than mine. I'm going to show you their notifications. So you'll see up the top left in Jotform. Now, how many people are using Jotform now? Anybody? No, we talked
I
about it,
want
but maybe.
to.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So again, they've been doing forms, and you can see by Cordova Council, I've been using Jotform for them for years as well. We have sponsorship forms and registration forms and all kinds of forms. But they now have a little drop down in the top left for apps. So if I click on that, I'm just going to and this is not done by the long means, but it's gotten quite far. Oh, this is I switched to mine. Let me log out. I want to show them yours, the Cordova Council one first. If I have too many windows open, Pat, and I'm logged in one and the other, it switches me. I'll figure. It says, oh, you looked at this last time, but okay. So let's go to, so again, in Jotform, up here, the default is forms, but there's now an apps area. And I'm working on this app. So let me just kind of show you what that looks like. Edit the app. And this has got a lot of similarities to Duda. So good news is you drop widgets. Remember with Duda, we have widgets, whether it's a form widget or a text widget or a photo widget or whatever. So with Jotform, they kind of followed that same kind of pattern. So as I've developed this, again, I put their icon there. That's what shows up on the app, so they know what it is. I decided to put an intro to this app page, because a lot of times when people are new to the app, they don't know what it is. So I created a page, and again, there's no content here yet. Let's see, I think it's the video. There it is. I just put a video. So this is the page that button is going to link to if somebody clicks on it. It's going to be a welcome to the new CCC app, why we created an app. And I want to get a video of the team. Putting a face to the name, as we know, is really important. So rather than me talk about the app, I want to film the staff over at Cordova Council saying, this is why we created the app. This is why it's going to be valuable to you. Not everybody may need that video, but it's just a nice addition, I think, especially since this is part of a new launch for them. So that's this button. Then we're going to have a receive text updates. Now, I'm also investigating texting software. It's kind of like Constant Contact, except for texting. So I'm looking into that now, and probably in a couple, 3 weeks, I'll do a Widget Wednesday on what I found there. I'm still experimenting with different ones, so I don't have an answer. But again, that's another key thing. What we wanted to do for them is saying, hey, if you want to receive text updates about an upcoming art event or an upcoming music event or whatever, they can pick categories, so they're not getting blasted on everything. They may choose to get blasted on everything, but then they can just pick the specific notifications that they want themselves. So that's going to be that button. It will go to a sign up form for what kind of notifications do they want to receive. Then I put a little slideshow because movement is always nice. And we do this on their website. So for the upcoming events, we just have a little, slideshow going on. I haven't shown this to them yet. You get to see it before they do, but this is pretty close to getting them their feedback. Now, one of the things I'm working on, the text on this is a little dark. I'm probably going to change the background so it's lighter, so it'll show up, because there's some things I can't change. But within a Jotform, you can create buttons. And so this is just a text button. You can create buttons that are graphic with an icon, kind of like we do with Duda. This is an oversized button because I wanted to show up. So you have some control about what the app looks like on the home page. And so each of these are going to go to a page that is going to have a list of the upcoming art exhibits and events. And this will probably include the MAC as well, Jamie. So if you're interested in art, here's, what's coming on at the City Hall as well as the MAC. So people don't have to go from one website to the other. Everything's there. Same thing for music events and concerts. So we'll have the MAC concerts as well as the ones in the park. Because I was telling them, we had a meeting in December. And surprisingly enough, and this is part of the proof, 60% of their website traffic was mobile for everything. That was a little bit of a surprise for me. I would not surprise me for the 4th of July because everybody's mobile on the 4th of July. But for all their other people were on their phone. So this told me that people are used to accessing their information on their phones. So the use of an app would make sense because now they just click the little icon. And there's the most important stuff they need to know. For events that they need to register for by buying a ticket, we can also create links there through the calendar. So I just created 6 or 4 different icons. And again, I'm just going to show you how easy it is. So widget. So you'll see these different kinds of widgets. You can add a QR widget, a video, Twitter links. So they have all these different widgets that, let's find one that I want. Let's see. Let's do a Facebook like box. So if I want to drag that, where did it go? Oops. There it is. Oops, I think that was it. No, hang on. It didn't go where I wanted to go. Let me see if I can drop it there. Of course, it's not going to work seamlessly now. Not sure if that's, there it is. That must be what it looks like because there's 2 of them now. So when you have a Facebook like app, you'll see that it says, what URL do you want it to go to? Oh, yeah. So you just link it to your Facebook like link. So some apps are pretty simple. Just fill in the blank. Like on this one, let's look at this one. When I hit the settings, this is what lets me control it. So I have sports as a link title. This is where it links to. Eventually, it's going to go to a sports page, but this was the default. So it's kind of fill in the blanks. Do I want to show a preview image? No. Show full URL? No. See, if I say full URL, I can't. It's hard to see, but it's actually in the background there. Oops. Stop it. Stop it. Move it back. Come on, move it back. Yeah. Technology. Oh, well, I'm not going to worry about moving. Oh, there it goes. So there, you can see the URL is kind of back there. doesn't show up because I have to contrast it with the image. But that's if you want to show the URL, but I chose not to, so I can turn it off. Normal, so this is normal size. I like it large. So the widgets are pretty much fill in the blank. What do you want it to do? What do you want it to look like? Very much like Doterra, right? Function and design. So you can move them around. You can have as many as you want. I can choose an icon. So the style, here's the background image. Here's an icon that I want. You don't have to have an icon, but I like icons on buttons. You can have as many buttons as you want, but you want something that's going to fit on a phone generally. You don't want to have 20 buttons and you have to have them scroll. Kind of start out with the high level buttons, and then you can create additional pages that will help them deep dive into further content, right? So what the buttons can do, they can either go to an exterior page, like a web page, or they can go into another page in Jotform. So as I mentioned, you can have unlimited pages. So there is the app intro page that will link from that first button. Here is the form, the place where I'm going to have the fill in the your name form for the text messaging. And these other pages will have the calendar for the art classes and things like that. So that's a pretty simple, just kind of like what's going on notification website. Now let's go into the app that I'm creating, and they have app templates. So if you don't want to start from scratch, they have examples of different kinds of apps, and I'll show you what that looks like. So you can kind of start from something, whether it's an event app or something like that. So let me go out to my account, log in. All right. So again, default is form. I'm going to go to my apps. I have different iterations of the paddle app. I've been playing with different things, but I'm going to go to this one. So if I edit this, oops, hang on. Okay, yeah, of course. I actually got a message. I think, was it Jamie? You were saying that you were having trouble accessing a form. Jotform was down yesterday for the first time in 10 years because they had too much traffic. So I think as they launch this new thing, it's gonna, they have to kind of adjust. But let me see if I could find an app that is not going to give me that error. No, stop it. Okay, let me try. I may just open the app on. Okay. So let me start by creating an app. Maybe that'll work. And then we'll see about. Let me try one more. No, I don't know what's going on. Okay, fine. Create an app. Use a template. You'll see they've got scheduling apps and patient management apps and employee apps. They got a lot of apps to start from. And you can start it, by category, like nonprofit, pet care. So you see they've thought through a lot of different applications for an apps and created a model for it. I'm just trying to find one. Let's look at wellness app for case sake. So you'll see they got a studio one, a beauty one, a counseling app, workout app. This is the one I used. Let's look at that one. This is the one I like, because the reason I liked it is because there was a slideshow that had different quotes, and I love quotes. So now I can update the app anytime I want with additional quotes, just by going into the app, hitting the settings, and you'll see here it's got the quotes there. So if I wanted to change the quotes, I can just go ahead and update a quote. I just left it with the default because I didn't want to have time, but you can change the order. Again, each app has different properties and features, and you just click on the little settings button to let you know what you want. What's your mood is another kind of app. It's a form description. So this is just a description, little text. This is a button. So you've got, does it link to a URL? Does it send an email? So you'll see that they give you some templates so that you don't have to start from, a bare bones page, which is kind of nice, which is what I did because I didn't know a whole lot about what was available. But I like the fact that they can give you a lot of templates. Does anybody see another kind of template you'd like to just take a look at? Anything intrigue you?
Entertainment, Susan.
Entertainment, all right. So they got concerts and touring. There's that mood tracker app that I used. Backgrounds. So again, you get to change the background, the colors, what's on the app. This is just giving you like a starting point. Now, let me go back to my apps. I want to see. Oops. Go back. I wonder if I can clone an existing app just so I can access it. So which of my paddle apps is the most recent? I think that one. There we go. Okay, cool. So I just made a copy of my app. See, where there's a will, there's a widget. I know that Janelle was having issues with Zoom yesterday. She's got to power through it. If something doesn't work, you just got to power through it. So there's my little slideshow of my testimonials. I have a temperament tips link, which is going to go to a page. This is where I can put tips and things. But I also created a form. So this form was created in Jotform. And so I was able to add a widget, which is a Jotform widget right there. And I can say on the settings, what do I call it? Is there a description? Is it normal or larger size? So again, just kind of fill in the blanks. And I was able to create a form that says, asked a few questions that goes into a log. Now, for those of you who experienced it, it kind of did a lot of things automatically. And again, what I wanted to do is I assigned numbers. So depending on the intensity of the feeling and whether it was positive, negative, I gave it a number. So over time, as people fill in this app, my goal is that their numbers will increase. It will go from negative numbers to positive numbers and the higher positive numbers over time. Now, one of the other cool things is you can add little videos in here, and that's my intent. So if somebody's number is a negative, I can put a little video or a little tip or a little quote that helps them with that. And because Jotform is responsive. Now, since I can't access my original app right now, let me just explain what responsive is. And this is another powerful tool within Jotform. And apps are responsive as well. Let me see here. I want to go back. So I'm going to go back to the Cordova Council. I'll show you an app that, or not an app, a form that I've been using for Cordova Council for years. And this is the power of a smart responsive form. So if you've ever taken a form that has all these questions that don't even apply to you, those drive me crazy. It's like, are you male or female? And you say, I'm female, and then it asks you all kinds of questions that aren't relevant to you. If you've ever given blood on a piece of paper, that's what they do. Are you pregnant? Well, if I said I was male, why are you asking me this question? With Jotform, you can actually create a responsive form. So let me find the sponsor, because this is the most complicated form I've ever created. And I'm just going to preview it to you before I show you. So they have, for all of their 30 plus events, they ask for sponsors. Their most expensive sponsorship is $25,000 for the year. So what we want to do is say, what do you get for $25,000? So if I preview this form, and we just updated it for 2022, here are the outdoor events. Here are the indoor events. Are you interested in a outdoor event, 25,000? If so, this is what you get. You get listed, you get your logo, blah, 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 all these great things. If you're interested at $1,000 level, this is what you get. So people can quickly kind of go through this and see what they get. for each of the sponsorship levels. If they scroll down and say, okay, here are the events. So if you're interested in the outdoor event, I'm interested in doing a $1,000 sponsorship for this. If I'm interested in the category 2 events, I want to do a bronze sponsorship for this. It's totaling all that information. Then they put in their contact information. The last question is, I will be paying by check or credit card. If they say I'm going to pay by credit card, it shows them the credit card information. If they say I'm paying by check, it doesn't show that to them. But when they get the response from filling out the form, they're going to get an email. If they said paying by credit card, it will say, thank you for your sponsorship. You should be receiving a receipt from the credit card processing system. If they say I'm paying by check, it says, thank you for your sponsorship. Please mail a check for this amount, whatever that amount was. And here's the address and who to make the check out to. So you'll see that this form not only responds to the answers to the questions we're asking, but also based on their response, it can also send them an email notification based on the answers that they were doing. So if you embed a form into your app, it can do the same thing. So for example, a lot of you may be using the app as a addition to a master course, or as a way to get somebody into a one-on-one consulting, one-on-one coaching, whatever. So somewhere on their app, you want to deep dive into your, whatever you're interested in. Answer is yes. Here are your options. Sign up for a course, schedule a one-on-one consult with me, whatever those options are. And based on their answer, they may get additional questions. Based on their answer, and say, okay, here's where you pay. I recommend payment by, credit card because it's immediate. Checks are, take time to get in the mail, but you have that option to say, do you want to pay by check or credit card or Venmo or whatever you want? And again, based on their answer, it could show them something different on the form as well as email response. So this is why I've been a huge fan of Jotform for 10 years, is because I've been able to create really complex forms that are customized to the answers people give. Now, another thing that Jotform did, and this was something relatively new, like 3 years ago, maybe. They keep evolving this tool, which is why it's really cool. So if I want to create a new form, there's two kinds of forms. There is the classic form, which we just saw. It's kind of like a page, survey, fill in the blank. They also have a card form. And this is something that Marisa with our online courses recommended, because it's better to say, rather than give them a big overwhelming form like you just saw, that's a lot. If you're doing a survey or something, better to ask them a question and kind of show them a question on a page. And they created this card form so that you can add a question. Let's say, let's do a yes, no question. So like, are you male or female? Yes or no. Are you retired or not? Yes or no. So you can add a pretty simple question, or you can add a multiple choice question. Again, drag and drop, pretty simple. And this asks a question per page. So rather than having the big, form, and we want to keep these pretty simple. You want to, like when I did my survey, I kept it to 7 questions. And if you took that survey, you know that I asked what is your email at the very end? Because you want them to answer the questions and then say, hey, if you want a free this, or if you want the results for that, then you say, please give me your email. And by that time, they've kind of gotten intrigued by the questions, hopefully, that they're willing to give you their email and possibly their name. But I added that at the end because I didn't want to say, give me your name and email, because they've gotten no value at that point. They don't know me at that point. So again, using this other kind of form within Jotform, they have, you have the ability to create an experience. So let's say if we preview this questionnaire really quick, again, it's not filled in. Here's the welcome page. So again, you can put your logo, icon, and then a little question. And it tells me 2 questions. you can turn that on or off. What I like about these kinds of surveys is, have you ever taken a survey and says, how many more questions are there? I've been in this for 5 minutes. But if they know there's 7 questions, or if they know there's 3 questions or something, they're more apt to keep going, as opposed to, oh my God, I'm done. You know, I'm 5 minutes in, I'm done. It's not worth it. So again, it will walk them through the questions. Again, this can be conditional. So if they answered yes or no to the first question, you can show them a different set of questions based on their answer. So with Jotform, not only do you have a pretty powerful form creator, but now you have the ability to create an app where you could embed forms, embed videos, embed text, links on top of that. So that's why I'm pretty excited about this next evolution of Jotform, not only winning or being nominated for the Kitty Award or whatever that was. The other reason I wanted to let you know now, as opposed to a little bit later when I had time to get a little organized, is Jotform is having a sale. Now, they have a free version, so that you can always start there. But as I told Kay, if you really see the potential in creating a form, you're going to exceed the level for free. So let's take a quick look at that. So free, you can have 100 form submissions, which for, typical use is not bad. 100 submissions per month. You can take up to 10 payments, as I mentioned, like with Cordova Council. They have this payment option where we sync to Stripe or PayPal or whatever your payment gateway is, but you're limited to 10. So again, not bad to start out with. They are currently having a sale. So what is normally $19 a month, it's basically $10 a month for the next year. And as I told Kay, if you think there's potential here, start out at, for the discounted price, because now you can have up to 1,000 submissions per month, more gig speed, and 100 payments per month. And if you find that you're not making use of it, just drop down to free after the end of the year. But would it be worth the 50% gamble to start out with, the paid, because the sale goes off, I think it was the 14th I saw somewhere. Anyway, and if you decide that you need to upgrade, you can always upgrade. But if you're getting 10,000 submissions a month or 1,000 payment submissions, then it's worth it, right? It's like, yeah, let me upgrade. 10,000 submissions per month, as long as you're converting that into money, right? So that's part of the strategy, is figuring out how you can use either forms or apps to, one, get on somebody's phone so that you can stay connected with them on an ongoing basis, which is huge. Get more referrals, because now they can share your app. If your app is valuable and it's not necessarily on a paid program, people will share it. Like for Kay, I've got this great Doterra app, which will help give you tips on what oils to use. Or to Robin, here's a great safety tips app that you can share with the person who's going off to college, or to the person who's now living on their own, or whatever. There's the education on the phone. So that's really it. I just wanted to kind of, show you the application possibility, as well as kind of overview the Jotform, because you're not just getting the app capability, you're getting the Jotform capability as well. Okay, I'm done with my demo. Does anybody have any questions or want to take a look at something a little deeper than I went into? Technology.
Susan, I think it's amazing. How great is that for Jotform to take on that app thing? I can
Yeah.
see why you're really excited about it, because for some businesses, I don't know if it would be necessarily for me, but for like the chocolate factory that you do, but for Cordova Community Council, man, I think they are going to flip out over the availability of having that technology at their fingertips.
Right.
And even for, like Jamie that has art classes and stuff, and she could take payments online, or even Marilyn with her coaching. I think it would be great to even be able to track that, and ask
Right.
them certain questions that's going to lead them to, where they need their help. So, but I could see Kay why she would want to jump on. As a matter of fact, I got a Christmas gift that was a diffuser and some doTERRA oils, not even
Nice.
through Kay. I'm like,
Oh,
hey, I know this product. Now I get to
uh-huh.
try it. Yeah.
Well, and I think that, especially for online coursework, we're each developing courses that are going to take 3 months, 2 months, whatever. And to me, this is a great investment in staying connected with those people on the course because, we get distracted. But if they get an instant message, hey, have you done your homework this week? Or how are you doing on, the assignment or whatever it is, keeping that close connection keeps you top of mind, which is huge for any business, particularly if they're signed up for a service that, and again, per Maurice's, stats, a lot of people don't complete it. I mean, I was supposed to be, we had the break week, and since I'm not going on that trip this month, I thought, okay, great, time to catch up. I spent the break week working on the app because that was kind of a focus for me. And then on Monday, when I was supposed to launch my course, I get this dump from Cordova Council. Here's the 2022 schedule. So I spent 2 days updating their website and their apps and all that kind of, or their forms and stuff. So I got sidetracked. It's not that I didn't want to do the course. It's just that I get sidetracked. So keeping people connected, even if it's on a, hey, remember, kind of a thing, it can be valuable. Pat, I think you got muted. If you,
Yeah, I think that's great, Susan. I was thinking, well, how could it even apply to me? And I thought, well, the only thing I could put on there, well, I could put other stuff, but I could put fun factors on there. I could put positive quotes. Um, I could put my funny Friday things on there. Um, Affirmations, even if they wanted to hit it and give a, a word of the day that would help motivate them, that would keep me connected to them. So I don't know how in depth I would go right now, but this is so new that it's kind of
yeah.
cool if they push on my icon, that they'd get some positive thing that day.
So here was the homework, because again, I don't have necessarily a call to action, but what I wanted you guys to think about is one, what is the average value, typical value of a client for you? Whether it's a coaching client, a teaching client, whatever that might be, because it's all about the math, right? If you're going to invest time and or money into something, is it going to pay off? So that's the first question. What's the average value of a client to you? If you had an app or even, a super form of some kind, would you be able to increase the value of that client because now they become a repeat client? And also, will they refer business to you because of what you've invested in an app or a form? And so then I am probably, depending on how many people are interested, going to launch a Jotform masterclass, kind of like we approach Duda, is you'll each come with, hey, this is what I'm working on. We'll kind of go through a masterclass, so you're not paying one-on-one consulting time with me, but we can kind of work on it. And as we've seen, you guys learn from each other, right? Oh, I hadn't thought about that, or that's a good idea. So I'm probably going to be doing that if there's at least 3 people interested in doing that course. And it'll probably start in February because I got a whole bunch to do in January. So your homework is to think about, will an app or forms be able to add value to my business and to my bottom line? If it is, what investment am I willing to make? Because I'm figuring, based on what I've seen, if you wanted me to develop an app for you, I would probably charge about what I charge for a website, which is about $1,200 to $1,500. But kind of a done with you, I'm thinking it's probably going to be more in the maybe $300 to $500 value, kind of an online course and done with you. So if you think that that math makes sense for you, let me know. And then I'll kind of work on some numbers as far as when we can start in February. And I've got other people like Kate might be involved in that. And then also I talked with a couple people at PWN. And I'll tell you, interesting enough. So in this online course stuff, and it's kind of going a little off topic, is Marisa has got us on this mission of chatterboxing, which is what we've been calling breadcrumbing, right? Get stuff out there on the social media, kind of talk about, leave tips, make comments, ask questions, take surveys, get yourself out there so you can connect with people who might be interested in your services or products in case. So Robin Padilla did a thing on Facebook, and she didn't say anything that we don't already know as far as be active, post, respond, blah, blah, blah. Wasn't a whole light bulb. But one of the things that I decided to do, because again, this course was very last minute, so I talked to a few people at PWN. I did a Facebook Live. I basically did a 1.5 minute, hey, I'm doing a Widget Wednesday on apps. Here's why apps could be valuable to you. If you want to join me, here's the link. If you want the recording, if you can't make it, let me know. I heard from one person that isn't even a member of PWN. That was from an investment of less than 5 minutes. And if she becomes a client, huge return. But that just proves the value of just doing something and just getting it out there and say, hey, who might be interested in this? Or I'm doing a free webinar, or I'm starting a masterclass, or just starting to kind of get the word out there. Because I didn't even have my nice clothes on. I had changed out of my nice clothes. I had a little makeup on, but I just recorded it. And the fact that people respond, or someone responded to that. And Pat, I think you gave me a thumbs up or something. So, some people saw it, but that it doesn't take much. I mean, how many new clients would make you happy? 1 a month, 5 a month, whatever that is. But just by experimenting and taking surveys, that's why Jotform is valuable, is because now you can do a little survey. Hey, are you interested in topic A, B, and C? Because why develop a course like that picnic pants story? You don't want to develop a course that nobody's going to be interested in. In fact, I have my coaching call with my coach through this EPM program this Wednesday, and I just posted my new mission statement. And a lot of that change in the wording that I used came from some of the responses I got from that survey. And I maybe got 10 responses so far in the survey. I haven't gotten a whole lot, but just that little feedback gave me enough idea to maybe tweak it a little bit. So I'm going to put it out to my masterclass group and get their feedback on it. So, getting feedback from the people out there on what you're offering helps you message it in a way that they're going to say, yeah, I'm interested in that, because you're going to hit that pain point or that inspiration button, right? Okay, done talking. Any other final comments or questions, thoughts, ahas?
I think it's great, and I could definitely see down the road that it's I'm glad I know about it, because as I am developing my courses, I can, if I can't get what I want, communication wise with Member Vault, then I know this is an option out there. My goal this year is, my word is self-love, and I'm going to spend more time with me and less on work. And so my focus for work right now is just writing my book, and besides coaching and selling new skin, it's writing my book and taking the information, as I write my book and create the classes. So if I get the book and some classes loaded, that will be a successful year for me, because I'm like you. I'm not like you in that I like to go out and investigate all these. I like you to investigate all these. And then I love tools. I'm not, that's not what I want to do in my free time, is play with toys, digital toys. But I am very, very thankful that you turned me on to Member Vault. I did buy the lifetime membership. And so I still have a lot to learn about how to use that, and when I'm designing my courses try to get the gamification going, where they get points and do all of that. So adding this on top, I tend to do too many of these things, and then I don't do any of them well. So
Right.
my focus this year is my book and member vault, and this is something great. By the time I pick this up next year, they'll have all the bugs worked out of it, and you'll have found the next best tool.
Yep. It's an ongoing in fact, I just had a tool that I'd been using for 5-6 years stopped working, and they stopped supporting it because things have changed. And it was a pretty inexpensive tool, and okay, whatever. And so things aren't forever necessarily, but because of my longevity with both Duda and Jotform, I feel really confident, and I feel pretty good about Member Vault as well, even though we haven't used it for a long time. But one of the things that I sent out in the email, I think it was Monday, was a questionnaire. So if you are interested in keeping on the Member Vault Mojo Masterclass, let me know, because I've got so much more content I'm getting from Marisa. So it's not going to be a repeat of what we did. It's kind of like keep going on that track. So if you're interested, please let me know, because again, what I want is at least 3 people in each of the master classes to kind of invest my time in that. So I'm planning on, and I don't know about Duda yet, because so for those of you guys who use Duda, you got to let me know. So Duda, app, Member Vault, those are the 3 I'm focusing on. And then I'm launching my masterclass that I'm developing through Marisa, and I'll kind of keep you guys posted. I have to get feedback on my new mission statement and title for my class, but I'm feeling really good about it. So, and I got an app for it.
I'm definitely interested in the Member Vault Mastermind. You really help me stay focused, and I always feel I have to deliver for the next class. So that'll help me stay focused. I have to report out what I've done.
Yes, exactly. Progress. Okay. Any other thoughts?
I'm interested too.
Okay, good.
I'm interested too in staying in the Member Vault Duda app thing.
So, Amy. Okay, good. So we have our member. So let's see. We were doing those Thursdays. Is that still a good day for you guys?
For me.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll probably, again, I really need to kind of get through my own coursework. Oh, before I forget, I mentioned that Marisa, and so Marisa is she is like a workaholic. I mean, I consider myself pretty focused, but she's a workaholic. She had a 3-hour free class on January 1st, which is a Sunday, for anybody in her class that wanted to take it. And she went through goals. She went through some, training, pretty good stuff. I mean, and there were people from all over the world. I mean, she had people from Australia and Spain and England and Africa, all over. I think she says in her classes, she's had 1/3 of the countries in the US in her classes. And she's been doing this for 10 years. She is doing a 3-day workshop, March 4th, I think. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And these are going to be intense. They are not going to be recorded. She says she wants her students to kind of experience it. It's going to be on Zoom, but everybody's going to get like a box with workbooks and mugs. I don't know. She just says it's going to be like not flying to LA, but virtual, but great. And I got to believe it. I mean, so I was only able to get 2 tickets the first time, and Kay got that second ticket. I was able to get another ticket for $150. And I will say, if you really want to focus in on goals, this is worth that, even if you only attend 1 day. I mean, because this is 3 full days of intensity. Please let me know by, what is today? Wednesday. Please let me know by Friday if you want the other ticket, because I might be able to get more. But I was able to snag a $150 ticket on that Monday, or that January 1st call. And I don't know when they're going to sell out. So just let me know. It's non-mandatory, but I tell you, the stuff I get from her, even if I just listen in, is like changing stuff for me. It's like, oh, that's cool. And she's reinforcing some of my thoughts as well, which is good because she's got 10 years into her stuff. So I'll send you a link to the event page. But again, I can't even imagine $150 for 3 full days is a deal. Let's see. That's it. So just let me know by Friday if you're interested. And Jamie, did you have another thought? I thought I might have interrupted you.
No.
Okay, good. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys being here. I was hopefully that at least one or two of you would be here because doing this on my own, it's just a lot different energy, right? So I'm going to send the recording out to you guys if you want to review any part of it, as well as to the people who couldn't attend. Likely we'll restart the member vault course in February, and I'll keep you posted about the app if we have enough people interested in that. Okay.
Okay.
Have a great
Okay.
Wednesday.
Thank you.
Bye.
You
Good to
too.
see you, Marilyn.
Bye.
Bye,
Good to
Pat.
see
Bye,
everybody.
Jamie. Oh,
Great to see
Jamie.
you guys. Happy
Yeah,
New
great to
Year.
see you. Jamie, do you have time this afternoon for a call?
I
So we
have
can do it
a
yesterday?
client at 1 o'clock to 3.
Okay. Okay. Maybe after 3.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay. Sounds
All
good.
righty.
I'll text you
Thank you.
or call.
Right.
Bye. Bye, Pat. I know she's frozen. He's frozen. Okay. Stop sharing.